What is up? What is up? What is up, awesome people of the internet? Everybody, what is today? Happy Thursday, everybody. Guys, today we are doing another episode of Women's Basketball Daily Download. This is a new series of sorts where I spend one live stream talking about one thing and one thing only, sort of doing a super deep dive into a topic. For today's stream, we are talking all about Unrivaled Basketball League. This is a brand new league, and there's a lot that you all need to know. There's a whole lot you all need to know. So please hit that like button as we get started. Please go and share this video. Share the live stream on Twitter. Share it on Facebook. Share it wherever you talk to people about women's basketball. Please share this. Reddit, all the places. Please share this because I think there's a lot of people who have a lot of questions about Unrivaled. And in this live stream, we're going to go through just about everything, okay? So I hope you all are ready to go. Again, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Also, share this with someone. Guys, if you all make comments that is not related to Unrivaled, I will ignore it unless it's a super chat. If it's a super chat, I'll read it and then try to quickly get on to the rest of talking about Unrivaled. But this live stream is very specific to Unrivaled. So you all can have other conversations in the chat, but I will, for the most part, ignore it unless there's a question about or comment about Unrivaled. Then I'll talk about it. Okay. All right. So let's talk about Unrivaled. So what is Unrivaled? Well, Unrivaled is a newly announced women's basketball league, and here's some details about it. So guys, this is a league that begins very soon. It begins in January of 2025. This is a 8-week-long league. So the 8 weeks include the regular season and the playoffs, so that is something to note. So 8 weeks total for Unrivaled, beginning this January in 2025. One huge thing about Unrivaled that immediately made it unique from other leagues and whatnot is the fact that it is in America in the off season, and the fact that it boasts 6-figure salaries for every single player on the team. We're gonna talk more about that, the finances of it all in a little bit, but this is a huge differentiator between Unrivaled and other leagues. 6 figures for 8 weeks. One other thing to note is that this is not 5-on-5 basketball. This is not 5-on-5 basketball. This is 3v3 basketball. And the reason why I don't say it's 3x3 is because it's very different than Olympic style 3x3. All right. So that's kind of cool. So 3v3 women's basketball that also has like it's not an all-star game, but I'm sort of categorizing in that sort of specialty lane where they will have a 1v1 single elimination tournament, though I will give you all more information on that. So this is sort of like the high level information about this league is the fact that it starts this January, runs for 8 weeks. Players will get paid 6 figures. It is a 3v3 league. They will also have a very fun 1v1 tournament. And it is co-founded by 2 former Huskies, 2 current WNBA players, some of the best players in the WNBA right now, in Napheesa Kahleah and Breanna Stewart. All right, so that's sort of the high-level information about this. And you may be wondering, okay, co-founded by Napheesa and Breanna, like what's going on with that? Well, let's meet the co-founders. Let's meet the co-founders and let's find out a little bit more about them. So one thing is that both of these players are from the Geno Auriemma UConn tree. Breanna Stewart, let's talk about her first. She won 4 straight NCAA championships at UConn. That was really her initial claim to fame. And she came to the WNBA and started balling. She is a two-time WNBA MVP. Most recently, last season, she was the MVP. She is a two-time WNBA champion, both with the Seattle Storm. Now she currently plays for the New York Liberty. There's a lot to say about Breanna Stewart. She's fantastic. This season she's averaging 19.3 points a game, 9 rebounds a game. She's great. There's a lot of stuff you can talk about her with, a lot. But the thing about Breanna Stewart, and partially the reason why this league was created, is the fact that Breanna Stewart has played overseas a lot. She's played overseas a whole lot. Most recently, in 2023, she played over in Turkey for a club called Fenerbahce. And this is a Turkish powerhouse of a squad. And elite players like Breanna Stewart, they go overseas and they play for a long time. Breanna Stewart now has a daughter and wants to be more stateside, so that's part of the reason why this league has been created by Breanna and Napheesa. So that's a little bit about Breanna Stewart. Now on to Napheesa Collier. Napheesa Collier, again, is from that UConn tree. Napheesa Collier, she's fantastic. She is a 4-time WNBA All-Star. She plays for the Minnesota Lynx. Right now in this season, she is averaging 20 points a game, 10.2 rebounds a game. So she is averaging a double-double in this WNBA season so far. She's fantastic. She absolutely is. In my mind, right now, she is the second best player in the WNBA right now. And she's fantastic. She's dealing with plantar fasciitis right now. Both Napheesa and Breanna Stewart are representing Team USA. Breanna Stewart has 2 Olympic gold medals underneath her belt. Napheesa Collier has 1. They both are looking to have 1 more each at the end of this year's Olympics. And similar to Breanna Stewart, Napheesa Collier also played for Fenerbahce as well. And she most recently played for them overseas. All right, so both players have been fantastic in the WNBA. Both came from UConn. Both have been fantastic. Both have played overseas, and both are moms. So both Breanna Stewart and Napheesa Collier are moms, and this sort of started a change for them. Them becoming moms and wanting to spend more time stateside, that really switched something in their minds in terms of, hey, we need some options that are in America. All right, that's what we need. And as a result, we have Unrivaled created. Now here's specifically what Breanna Stewart had to say. She said, for years, women have relied on off-court sponsorships for a majority of their income. With Unrivaled, we are revolutionizing the game by prioritizing investments in our stars and ensuring their on-court performance is reflected in their pay. Now, this is sort of this was when Unrivaled was unveiled, and she was just sort of talking about what this means for players, because, yeah, it's kind of great because you've had to rely on sponsorships from brands. You've also had to rely on going overseas instead of staying in America, because a lot of players in the W would like to stay in America, but they can't because, well, they can. Well, they want additional revenue in the off season for the WNBA, which is the majority of the year, and so they tend to go overseas. But with this, they do have now an option to stay in the U.S. Now, let's kind of talk about a little bit more of the structure about what exactly Unrivaled is. So let's get into some more specifics. So, Unrivaled Basketball League for the first season is welcoming 30 top women's basketball players. Now, for the most part, all of those women's basketball players will be from the WNBA. It's possible that it's not, that like they have some sort of solely international players, but for the most part, it's going to be made up of 30 WNBA players. of the top WNBA players. We will have 6 teams total, 6 teams of 5, and these teams will not rotate. So these are set teams, set franchises of sorts, with 5 players on each roster. Again, this is 3v3, so something to note. So not a normal 5 on 5. So you can get away with 5 players on each team. Each team will have 1 head coach and 1 assistant coach per team. I did see in the chat that someone was asking about coaches. That is your answer right there. There is 1 head coach, 1 assistant coach per team. All right. All of the games will happen in a single location. They will all happen in Miami. The exact location, I don't believe, has been announced yet, but the games will happen in Miami. The entire season and postseason, all that good jazz, that will happen in Miami. And they do have hopes of having one-offs other places in the country, but right now the games will be in Miami. Another thing to note is that 6 teams, the top 4 teams will actually make the playoffs, and then they'll sort of play from there. There has not been a release of what specifically the playoffs look like. So that is something that we don't know yet. We do not know what the playoff situation actually looks like. But the top 4 teams do make the playoffs. So hopefully that makes sense. Again, guys, as I'm talking through this, if you all have specific questions about Unrivaled, let me know in the chat. There are some questions that I am purposely ignoring because I'm going to answer those questions in a future slide. But if there's something that you all don't see answered, let me know and I will get to it. Rena is asking, I wonder how much the tickets will be. Will games only be in Miami? Yeah, so right now the games will be in Miami. But we do not know ticket price yet. Tickets have not gone on sale yet. Once they do, I will make sure to give you all an update either on the community tab or as a specific video. But that has not been released just yet. Also, I did see a question about whether or not the games will be televised. They will, but all the details about that has not been released just yet. All right, let's get into some more details. So here's what Breanna Stewart had to say after we found out this league was a thing. So Breanna Stewart said, we went to dinner in New York and Basil, that Alex Basil is Napheesa Collier's husband. So that's who she's referring to. And Basil was explaining the idea of being a part of this league where it's like you're on an all digital basketball court. You're playing 3-on-3, 1-on-1, queen of the court style type of thing where you hold all bragging rights, but also make a salary that's kind of set in stone, but also you can grow bigger. So that's kind of how this whole thing started. Napheesa Collier, her husband, who is actually now the president of Unrivaled, he explained this idea, and they both were pretty interested. Both Napheesa and Breanna Stewart were pretty interested, and that's sort of the start of this thing. This all came from an idea at dinner, and it's kind of cool that like it's actually turning into a real thing. So all digital basketball court, you're playing. It's 3-on-3. 1-on-1, like that's Unrivaled. That is what Unrivaled has become. And it's kind of cool what a dinner can do for an idea. All it takes is an idea and some food. And hey, maybe you got something, maybe you got some golden plan in the works. Let's kind of talk specifically about the court, because I've seen some people in the chat already talk about the court, and they're asking what size is it? Is it half court? Like, what's the details about that? Well, Unrivaled will be playing on a compressed full court that is about 70 feet long. Now, that's something to note. It is not half court basketball. And when we talk about half court basketball for 3x3 for 3v3, we're thinking about 3x3. and we're thinking about those types of rules. Not the same thing when it comes to this. So a normal basketball court is 94 feet. All right. A normal basketball court is 94 feet. This will be 70 feet. And it's full court. So this is going to be an all digital court. So they're going to be able to make it, 70 feet, and it's going to look pretty. It's going to look like a basketball court, but it's going to look like a compressed one. So I don't know if you all have seen these, but you see it at like rec centers where they have like a full court, but it's not full court. It's not a full court because the half court line is very close to the 3-point line. I don't know if you all have seen gyms like that. I have, and it's going to be similar to that. All right, it's going to be similar to that. So full court basketball, 70 feet long. So pretty sizable difference between a regular basketball court and a unrivaled basketball court. So 94 feet is a regular basketball court. This is going to be 70. All right. So hopefully that is helpful. One of the reasons why it is 70 feet instead of playing half court is because the extra space is to sort of make sure that you sort of reduce wear and tear, because when you're playing so condensed half court basketball, it does provide a little bit more wear and tear on your body, which may sound a little bit not right, but it is. And it also allows players to have like fast breaks and whatnot, and they'll be able to showcase their skills a lot more than if it was just half court basketball. So we are going to be able to see players go from side to side. So yeah, that's kind of the thought process there. And I saw another question in the chat about are these games going to be on TV? The answer is yes, but specifically where, we're not sure yet. So the games are intended to be played within a 1 hour broadcast window. So when we see these games on TV, one game is going to be just 1 hour. Right now for the WNBA, it's about 2.5 hours for the most part to watch a game at the max. And this will be 1 hour. 1 hour. There'll be 4 quarters, though they have not released how long the quarters are. But they got to be pretty short because the whole game's going to be done in an hour. So 4 quarters. There is going to be a game clock and a shot clock, though there is no specific there's no specific timing featured there. So 4 quarters of play, game clock, shot clock, 1 hour broadcast window. All right, so sort of keep that in mind as we sort of go through the rest of this. All right, and again, have questions, ask them in the comments below. All right, let's continue on. One thing to note that I sort of talked about earlier that I want to hone in on a little bit is the fact that Unrivaled will have a 1v1 single elimination tournament. Now, this is going to be kind of cool. This is sort of like a Queens of the Court type of thing where we are really going to see who is the best 1v1 player in the world. Now, we don't really see 1v1 when it comes to women's basketball. It's not really a thing. Like it's not a thing that's really done. And so I think that this is going to be really, really fun. Sort of like this isn't quite a all-star type of thing, but this is sort of like going to be in the sort of the halfway mark of the season for Unrivaled, and it's going to give the players an opportunity to sort of regroup and play something really, really fun, a 1v1 tournament, and they go back to regular 3-on-3. I like this as a concept because the idea of a 1v1 league does not sound fun. But the idea of a short 1v1 tournament, to me, that sounds awesome. Now, guys, let me know in the comments what y'all specifically think about this 1v1 tournament. But I think it'll be cool to see this short and sweet tournament that's going to happen in February. in the middle of the Unrivaled season. So that is something to know, again, to determine the best 1v1 player in the league. And Will, yes, when I was sort of writing this the script for this stream, Kennedy Carter was the first person in my mind. Kennedy Carter was the first person in my mind because I was like, you know what? When it comes to 1v1, oh, Kennedy Carter. I'm not sure exactly if she's going to be in this league. But if she is, I think she's gonna be really, really good for this Unrivaled League. Drew says, I think it's dope. I love watching when Slam does their Queen of the Court. Yes. So it's gonna be a similar thing. I think Slam is the only basketball company that I've seen do 1v1 well. And so I think it'll be kind of similar to that. All right, let's see. Yeah, Arike would be really good as well. Yep. Looks like quite a few of y'all are in favor of Kennedy and Arike. Gilda says Kahleah Copper, Kennedy, and Arike. Yeah, absolutely. Gloria, there is no age restriction, but this is only open to the top 30 players in the world, and this is invite only. All right, so players just can't get in the league just because they want to. Okay, so that's something to note. That is something to note. Guys, shout out to Repeat Tour, aka Michael, for the super chat. Michael, I appreciate the super chat so much. Thank you. Says, been in the process of moving, but I wanted to say, hey, Quita and awesome people of the internet, I miss y'all. Michael, miss you too, man. Have a great move. Moving can be very stressful, very, very stressful. So I am praying that you have a good moving experience, that everything goes well, that all your stuff goes to the new place with you. Absolutely praying that everything goes well. Hope you are doing awesome, Michael. It's great to talk to you. All right. Let's see what else you all have to say about this. Drew, the league starts in January. All right, the 3v3 league for Unrivaled starts in January. The 1v1 single elimination tournament is in February. Okay. Keegan says, can't wait, should be interesting. Yeah, it should be. It should be very, very interesting. Yes, absolutely. All right, let's continue on. Because, guys, this is a real league with a real commissioner. This is not just a random pop-up thing that Napheesa Collier and Brianna Stewart are doing. They have made this as official as possible, which means that not only do you have players already lined up for this thing, which I'm going to talk about later, not only do you have financial backing already, I'm going to talk about that more later, but you also have a commissioner who has proven to be able to grow a product. Unrivaled has announced Micky Lawler as their first commissioner of the league. And guys, the thing to note about Micky is the fact that she is a proven leader. She is an absolute proven leader. She was a part of the WTA, Women's Tennis Association. She is a pretty known person when it comes to women's sports. And I, for one, am very, very excited that they have someone who is a proven leader. She's the former WTA president. And I think that having a person like that is going to be absolutely positively huge. So yeah, I think it'll be pretty fun. She spent a decade at the Women's Tennis Association as the president. And she's had a lifetime dedicated to growing the platform of women's professional sports. During Lawler's tenure, the WTA broke records across sponsorship, media, and international investment in the sport. Micky is also credited with creating next-level opportunities for players she managed during her 27-year tenure at Octagon and with expanding the game globally. So this is huge, absolutely huge, because not only do you have players invested in this thing and ready to make this thing happen, you also have a leader who has shown that she can make some stuff happen when it comes to women's sports in general. So she's coming from tennis, going to basketball, and I'm pretty excited about it. I think that this is a huge move because it to me, it says a lot that they get someone with this much women's professional sports experience to lead their team, to lead their league. And I think we're going to see some awesome stuff come as a result. WK says they have 10 players already. They do, and I'm going to go through those 10 players as the stream is happening, okay? I'm going to go through the players that are selected. Road 2 says this is a good thing for WNBA players who don't want to go overseas in order to have an income and to expand in women's basketball. I hope it will be successful. Absolutely. CF20 says, will this compete with college basketball? Yes. More on that in a little bit. Okay, I have a slide about that. All right. So let's continue on. Now, guys, in order to have a functioning league, you need a lot of things. One, you need players. You need leadership. You need visionaries, and you need financial backing. And Unrivaled has that. So when the league first announced itself, so the league announced officially last year. All right, in 2023, Napheesa Kahleah and Brianna Stewart announced that they were doing this new big venture and it's going to be called Unrivaled and all this other stuff. There was a whole bunch of fanfare about it, and they announced the fact that they have financial backing already. And I do have a list of some of the players or some of the people who are financially backing this thing. This is not everybody, but this is a initial list. So that, I think it's pretty awesome. Some of the names that are on this thing, because when we talk about basketball, we got Alex Morgan, Megan Rapinoe representing for the soccer players, right? You got, this is a league that is founded by 2 UConn players. So of course, if you are founded by 2 UConn players, of course, Geno Auriemma has to invest in the league, and he has, which is another thing that I'm like, oh man, that's kind of cool. You got Geno Auriemma in there. You also have John Skipper and David Levy, who are like a big deal when it comes to sports media. Those are the 2 giants, John Skipper and David Levy, and they both are invested in this league as well. We also see former NBA players, Carmelo Anthony, Steve Nash, Michelle Wee West, a prolific woman golfer. We got big names in this. Gary V is in the list of investors, and like Gary V is like he's on everything. He's doing just about everything when it comes to the media space, and so they have announced high profile investors who are big in certain fields, right? Megan Rapinoe, she's her, Alex Morgan, behind the Together platform. Geno Auriemma has all the context there is to have when it comes to basketball. Gary Vaynerchuk is huge when it comes to media and growing brands. You have John Skipper, David Levy, who has the experience of just sports branding and how to tell the narrative about sports teams and whatnot. Like this is a high profile list. This is a very, very high profile list of investors. And I think this really does help ensure that this league is able to get off to the right start. So not only do you have some great investors and whatnot, individual investors. Let's actually get to some comments. Element says, visionaries. Gerald Ford said, if I listened to customers, they would have asked for a faster horse. Listen, okay. Drew says, Gino. Yes, y'all. Gino is invested in this thing. Uncle J.E. says, Gary V is a great marketer. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. And this is going to be really cool. This is going to be really, really, really cool. And not only do you have, individuals signed up to support this thing, you also have Ally Financial as the founding brand partner of Unrivaled. So here is what Alex Basil, president of Unrivaled and also husband to Napheesa Kahleah. Alex said, we are thrilled to team up with Ally Financial as Unrivaled continues to make great strides towards the league's January tip-off. Our goal is to provide a highly competitive and entertaining product that sets a new standard for every basketball fan. With that comes identifying partners who share our vision and Ally's demonstrable mission of making women's sports indispensable could not align better with Unrivaled. Together, we aim to elevate the sport and inspire the next generation of women basketball stars. So that's what Alex had to say about Ally joining, because Ally Financial joining this as a brand partner is huge. Here is what Breanna Stewart had to say about it. She said, I'm proud to be partnering with Ally as they join the Unrivaled family and continue to elevate women's sports. As a startup, we need committed sponsors and media to drive fandom and growth. So it's amazing to have partners like Ally on board from day one that has such a strong track record of advancing equity and elevating women's sports. All right. So that is what was said. Okay. So we got a little bit of everything. We got some great co-founders. We have good leadership in terms of the commissioner spot. We have good financial backing in terms of individual backers and a huge brand that is backing this thing. Now all we need is players, right? That's all we need, right? Well, let's get into some of the players. Let's meet the players for Unrivaled. A thing to note, guys, is I don't know if you all are watching this, but if you are not, please subscribe or follow Unrivaled on Twitter. The people who run their social media account are fabulous. The way that they're doing a process of unveiling players and giving hints and having people guess who the players are, and then revealing the players who are actually a part of the 30. It's really awesome. So I highly recommend you all follow them. I don't know who does their social, but it's great, whoever it is. All right, so let's start off with the first 3 players of the league. Of course, the first 2, we already knew who those were. It was Napheesa Kahleah and Breanna Stewart, the co-founders of this league. The third person we kind of knew already. It was Chelsea Gray. Chelsea Gray was previously already announced last year as a player who was going to be in this league, and they announced it. All right. And so sorry about Mr. President. Mr. President is excited about this league too. I just got to say, guys, he is very, very much excited. So when it comes to most of the players that have been announced so far, almost all of them have some sort of international experience playing overseas in the offseason. So Napheesa Kahleah, as I said before, played for Fenerbahce. Brianna Stewart played for Fenerbahce. When it comes to Chelsea Gray, she also played overseas. She recently played in Turkey. I cannot pronounce the name of the Turkish club she plays for. She used to play for Kirkova, or something like that. I apologize, I can't pronounce it. But she also has played overseas, and Chelsea Gray also now has a kid. And so, as players get older, as they change and whatnot, they want to stay home. And actually, you don't even have to get older to want to stay home. But she is another player who wanted the opportunity to be home in America and play professionally and still make some money. All right. Thing to note is that she is playing. She's with Team USA right now. Her, Napheesa, Brianna are overseas right now playing for Team USA. All right, let's get to the next three players who were announced. So we had Arike Ogunbowale as the fourth player announced for this league. And Arike Ogunbowale, if y'all don't know her, you better get to know her, because she is a fantastic, high-octane player. She shoots crazy shots all the time. She is a fantastic scorer. She has been in the top 5 of the WNBA when it comes to scoring for the last 5 seasons, okay? And that's also her first 5 seasons in the league. She has been absolutely fantastic in the WNBA. She also has played overseas as well. She used to play with a Russian club, and now she's coming stateside in the offseason and playing for Unrivaled. The fifth player that was announced for Unrivaled was Jewell Loyd. Jewell Loyd, the Gold Mamba herself. She is fantastic. You have two UConn players in Unrivaled, in Brianna Stewart and Napheesa Collier. You have 2 Notre Dame players in Unrivaled, in Arike Ogunbowale and Jewell Loyd. So they are representing for some of the big powerhouses when it comes to women's basketball. Okay, UConn is covered, Notre Dame is covered. Jewell Loyd is fantastic. She also is playing overseas right now in getting ready for the Olympics in Paris, which is kind of cool. She has most recently played with a Spanish club overseas. And the last time she played overseas was several years ago. I believe it was at least 3 years ago, 3 or 4 years ago, when she last played for an overseas team in Spain. So that is something to note. All right. So that is 1 through 6 in terms of players who are in this Unrivaled League. And also, guys, as you all are joining in, if you all could please give this video a like, that would be absolutely huge. It really does help more people find this video. If you all could hit that like button, please, and thank you. Also, if you all can share this with people, that would be awesome. There's a lot of people who have questions about Unrivaled, and send them this video and let them know, hey, here's all your random questions about this league. It's all answered right here. So share this video with somebody. That would be exceptional. Thank you very, very much. All right, let's continue on to the next crop of players who are in this thing. Actually, no, I missed the player. I missed the player on this other slide. I missed Kelsey Plum. I can't forget Kelsey Plum. Kelsey Plum, the University of Washington Husky herself. She is fantastic. She plays for Las Vegas Aces. Plum Dog can score some baskets. She can absolutely score some baskets. She is a 2-time WNBA champion, back-to-back 2-time WNBA champion with the Las Vegas Aces. She is a 3-time All-Star. She used to play for Galatasaray. So Galatasaray is another sort of big Turkish club overseas that a lot of WNBA players play for. She used to play for Galatasaray about 2 years ago. So in 2022, she played for Galatasaray. So again, the reason why I'm saying where they used to play is to let you all know that this is going to be huge for the 30 WNBA players who play in Unrivaled, because they don't have to go overseas, and that's a big thing when it comes to WNBA players. Big thing. Let's go on to the next 3 crop of players who joined the squad. We have Rhyne Howard with the Atlanta Dream. Rhyne Howard, former #1 pick. She is the best thing out of Atlanta. Doing her thing, 2-time WNBA All-Star. She currently plays for the Olympic 3x3 team. And if you've seen the 3x3 team play with Rhyne Howard, you know, guys, that Rhyne Howard is perfectly suited for this Unrivaled League. The reason why is because if you all saw in the All-Star game, for that 3x3 game that we saw, Rhyne Howard was cooking. Okay. And I have no doubt in my mind that once this season is over, this first season is over for Unrivaled, Rhyne Howard is going to be right at the top when it comes to MVP votes for this league, because Rhyne Howard, she's perfect for 3x3. She is. She has a motor, she has a shot, and she can just go and go and go and go and go. All right, so that is Rhyne Howard. She previously actually played for an Italian club. All right, but that was a while ago. That was a long while ago that she played for an Italian club overseas. Right now, you can actually find her on the sidelines of Florida. She is an assistant coach for Florida. She previously attended Kentucky. Decided, her head coach was Kyra Elzy. When she played for Kentucky, she decided this past offseason that she was going to be an assistant coach for Florida. And she's kind of went to a rival of sorts for the SEC. So from the court in Kentucky to the sidelines in Florida, Rhyne Howard is doing her thing. She is staying courtside or stateside again for this upcoming season. Now, the thing that still has to get worked out, I believe, is whether or not she can actually be an assistant coach for Florida and still be able to play in Unrivaled. The benefit is that Unrivaled plays in Miami, and so it might actually be possible that she can do both, possibly. Though it has not been fully released in terms of whether or not she can do both. So that is something that is still TBD, but it is possible theoretically, because Miami going to Florida, it's not that hard of a thing to possibly do both. But more information on that later on, TBD. All right, let's continue on. So we go from one big shot maker, big shot taker player who can take you off the dribble and make something happen in Rhyne Howard, to a player that's just like her in Kahleah Copper. So Kahleah Copper is fantastic. She was the finals MVP when the Chicago Sky won the WNBA championship a couple years ago. She is on Team USA right now for 5-on-5 in Paris. She's fantastic. All WNBA All-Star. When we talk about a player like a Kahleah Copper, it's a similar thing to Rhyne Howard. Buckets, 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 buckets. And now Kahleah Copper has a way better shot than she used to. So she's even more dangerous. Even more dangerous as a player. She is absolutely fan-freaking-tastic. So that's another player who is on Unrivaled. Also, a thing to note is that Kahleah Copper used to play overseas, so she did play in Turkey as well. A lot of WNBA players have played in either Turkey or Russia. That's something that you'll know if you sort of look sort of look at the biography and look at the information about a lot of these players. Most of the top ones have at least played in Russia and or Turkey. And Kahleah Copper played overseas in Turkey for a little bit. But now she is. This past season, she was in the WNBA players marketing program. But before that, she actually was an assistant coach with Purdue University Northwest, right there in it's not that far from me in Northwest Indiana. So that is something to note. Another player that we have is none other than Jackie Young on Unrivaled. So Jackie Young was the 9th player announced for Unrivaled. And when we talk about Jackie Young, she's just Jackie Young. She's a very stoic individual who kind of just does her thing, but is not like her talent tells everything. Basically, her talent tells everything. She is a player who has a shot. She is a player who plays some fantastic defense, which I am very interested to see specifically how defense is played in this Unrivaled League. I think that's going to be really, really interesting to see. But y'all, Jackie Young, another Notre Dame player, because you can't have enough Notre Dame players. Okay, former number 1 pick. It sort of fits with everything else that's happening, guys. She also did play overseas as well. So that is something to note. She played in Turkey, and I believe she also played in Australia as well. So she played in both Turkey and Australia. But again, like all the other players, they want to stay in the United States, and they now have the opportunity to stay in the United States now. So those are the 9 players that were previously announced. Okay, all of them have been in the WNBA for multiple years. All of them have also played overseas. All right, and now we get to the 10th player that was actually just recently announced just a couple days ago, and that is Angel Reese. So guys, Angel Reese was announced as the 10th player for Unrivaled. Now, guys, this was a little bit of a shocker, especially to me, because I thought that we were primarily just going to see, WNBA players with a lot of experience in this league. But Angel Reese is the first rookie to sign on to Unrivaled. And so I think it's pretty cool. And it shows a lot of confidence that Unrivaled actually has, because again, their whole thing is we have the top 30 women's basketball players in our league. All right. And so the fact that Angel Reese is in this league, it's showing that, hey, they believe that she is a top 30 player. I think, to me, it's a shocker. Not that the Angel Reese isn't good. She is very good. I just did not expect us to see a rookie make Unrivaled. But I think it's pretty cool. I think it's pretty cool that she's on there. And I think it's going to bring a lot of buzz. I think she's going to be, I think she's going to do well. Though I am pretty interested to see exactly how she translates to 3v3, because it's very different. 3v3 is very, very, very different than 5-on-5. Zola says Miami Barbie. Yep. Absolutely. Yes. Nat, yeah, I agree with you. Yeah, I didn't think they were going to add rookies, but they did decide to add some rookies, or at least one right now. So yeah, I think it's kind of cool. Will says, seriously, this is going to be fun. I absolutely agree. Kristen says Kaylin probably is going to be in it too. Possibly. Yeah. I mean, right now we only know 10 players. And if you all are following Unrivaled on social, you all see that they are slow walking all of this stuff. They are slow walking all the announcements, because they want to drag this out, and they want to make sure that, at least once or twice a week, you are reminded about Unrivaled Basketball League. And that's smart. Like, truly, again, guys, if y'all are not following Unrivaled on social media, do it, because the way that they are running this whole thing in terms of like the drip campaign and in terms of announcements and hints and all this, it is genius marketing, genius branding. Charles says, I'm not shocked. Double, she's aggressive, which should translate to this game. Yeah, it for me, it wasn't about necessarily the talent. It's about the fact that she's a rookie. And again, when we look at the first 9 players, they absolutely are, I'm sorry, what am I trying to say? they absolutely are pros. They've been in the WNBA for a long time. They've played overseas and whatnot. So I think that's more of the surprise, that Angel's a rookie who's never been overseas, never done that type of stuff. But she's like, hey, I'm staying in the US. I'm make stuff happen. Uncle J.E. says Angel is the draw. Absolutely. Yeah. Angel's absolutely a draw. That's not the only reason they picked her, but absolutely. I think she's going to be a huge asset to the marketing of this thing. We got 305 Barbie in the building. All right, guys. So those are the players who are announced so far. Again, there are going to be 30 players in this league. Only 10 have been announced so far. We're going to see how like who else joins this league. I do anticipate us possibly having an A'ja Wilson join this league. Possibly. I think if she is announced as a player, she probably is going to be the last player listed. So Frost, I completely agree with you. Says A'ja probably is going to be number 30 fashionably late. I mean, I think it's one of those things where like A'ja Wilson is the top dog in the WNBA. She is the best women's basketball player in the world, and I think it makes sense to if she's in this league to save her for last, save the best for last, and announce A'ja Wilson last. We'll see ultimately if she actually is in this league, and also I'm curious to see who else is in this league. What other players are announcing this? Players like a Kelsey Mitchell, a Nneka Ogwumike, a Skylar Diggins-Smith. You know, there's other players in the W that I'm very curious to see if they actually if they actually decide to go for this team. So guys, in the chat, let me know your predictions about who you think is going to make this roster. Okay. That would be really, really great. Desi is asking, how will teams be selected? We don't know yet. We don't know. That is something that we still do not know at this moment. Also, we do not know the coaches that are participating yet. All right. They have not made any announcements regarding coaches, though I do think that'll likely happen around November, December type of deal, when we'll probably find out about the coaches, because the big draws are the players. The coaches are not as big of a draw, I would say. Danny says Quita for official broadcasting for Unrivaled. Hey, I would love it. Unrivaled, hit me up. I'm happy to do it. And you ain't really got to pay me much or nothing. I'd do it. I'd be happy to do it. But anyway, guys, let's continue on talking about more information about Unrivaled. Now, so we have some of the players already. A thing to note, guys, is that players, again, will be receiving a 6-figure salary for participating in this league. Now, guys, this is a big draw to get top players like a Rhyne Howard and a Nneka, or not Nneka, and a Jewel Lloyd and whatnot. A huge incentive in players deciding to join this league is the fact that we will see them get paid 6-figure salaries. Now, the specific number of 6 figures has not been decided yet, so not quite sure if that is 100,000 right on the mark, if that's 200,000, 300,000, like what exactly that figure is, we do not know. However, we do know that players are going to be receiving a 6-figure salary for participating. So that's 8 weeks of play, 3v3, at least $100,000. That's not bad. That's not bad for being able to stay in the United States. Now, the goal is to pay a base salary and to as the league grows, increase the pay, so that way players have even more buy-in. Because when you're getting paid well, you're gonna play better, right? Also, a thing to note is that inaugural players, so that means the first 30 players for this upcoming season for Unrivaled, the 30 inaugural players will get equity in the league. So that is something to note. So you're gonna have ownership. So the players that I previously mentioned, they have ownership in Unrivaled. And again, that's kind of cool. And this is sort of like a first of its kind of sorts, because we've seen women's basketball leagues, come around and fail, right? We before the WNBA, we've seen several leagues. After the WNBA has launched, we've seen other sort of smaller leagues that are some are still operating, but they're very, very small and no one knows about them, right? A way to get relevancy in just in the public sphere is to give players an incentive to, one, promote this thing, and not just, oh, I'm just coming for the check, you know, that's all I'm here for. I'm here so I don't get fined, that type of thing. No, it's to make everybody who is a part of Unrivaled invested. Like, literally, you will have an equity stake playing in this league. So, you know, not just Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart, who, you know, are the co-founders of this. They're not the only ones who have equity. Arike Agabawale now has equity in this thing. Chelsea Gray has equity. Jewel Lloyd has equity. Angel Reese has equity. Jackie Young has equity. Kahleah Copper, Ryan Howard, Kelsey Plum. And as we go on and find out more players, you know, those inaugural 30 players will have equity in this league, which is, in my opinion, pretty awesome. And it's genius. It really is genius. Because again, if you're invested in something, you want those numbers to grow. You want fan engagement to grow. You want viewership to grow. And so you're going to do things to ensure that this works out, because it's in everyone's best interest for this thing not to flop, okay? Not just Napheesa Collier and Breanna Stewart. It's everybody's best interest for this to work out. So, you know, everybody's going to be giving their best at all times, because, again, they're going to have a financial stake in this. Not only are they getting paid a salary, but also they're getting equity, which is, again, huge, absolutely huge. Row 2 says having ownership as well is excellent. This is well thought out. Hoping success for the league. Yeah, this is very well thought out. Like, very, very well. And again, guys, this is Napheesa Collier. This is Breanna Stewart. This is Napheesa Collier's husband as well. Alex, who's the president of this league. They've really thought this thing through. Really thought this thing through. Let's see. Danny says this is a great investment. Shoot, how do I get in on the cut? Danny, you got to be one of the top 30 players. One of the top 30 players. Let's see what else you all have to say. Rachel says essentially worker-owned business to some extent. Yes, that's sort of the vibe of this thing. Yeah. Partially worker owned. Now the percentage that the players get in equity, I'm not sure about that. That has not been released, but there is some sort of percentage of equity in Unrivaled for all of the players who participate in that first season. Rosalinda says, can you imagine the merchandise? I'm sure it's going to be awesome. I'm sure the merchandise is going to be awesome. And again, all the players are going to be modeling for it, because again, the league makes more money. They make more money, not just from salary, but also from the investment. Frost says, wonder how this will be broadcasted. TBD. Hopefully more information very soon on that front. Robin says the European leagues will suffer or backfill, or will backfill be enough? Or European salaries have to bump up. Robin, European salaries, some of the European salaries. So like in Turkey, when you're playing for like a top team like a Fenerbahce or even a Galatasaray or those types of teams, you do get paid a good amount of money. But for players, Unrivaled might actually be a slight cut possibly to them. But the benefit you have is that you're staying at home. And you're playing for a league that you may believe in a little bit more, and also a league that you'll have equity in. So it's yes, it's about the money, but I don't think it's just about the money. Like I really don't. I think it's that and more that Unrivaled offers that, you know, a random team in Turkey or Spain or, you know, or the UK, it just doesn't offer. Brandon, thank you so much for the super chat. Says, looking at viewership numbers in the WNBA, I think this is going to be tough for them to gain traction. If Caitlin is involved, it might have a shot. I hear your point, Brandon, because absolutely, yes. Caitlin Clark has done wonders for the WNBA. I don't know if Caitlin does this thing. I don't know if she opts to join this league. One is, it's possible that she's like, you know what, I need a rest. I need to take it easy. I'm not used to 3v3, so I'm just gonna rest. I'm going to relax during my off season. So I'm not sure if she does it. I'm sure they offered it to her. I'm sure, but it depends if she wants to do it. But I think absolutely yes. If Caitlin was involved, sure, that would absolutely bring a even bigger boost. But I also do think that the way that they are marketing this thing, the way they're rolling this thing out, it's continuing to build buzz and some of the players that you already have in this thing, I think it's going to do well. Like I really do. Like it's not going to compete with like WNBA numbers right now, but I think it's going to lead to pretty decent attendance, pretty decent viewership for the first year, and I think it's just going to build from there. Like I actually think this is going to be a successful thing because this is player owned and player driven. Like I think that's the big key. That is the big key, and the fact that you have, again, go rewind this thing. Look at the investors that I talked about. You have huge investors in this thing, and they are backing it, and I think that is absolutely huge. And it's going to lead to the future success of this thing. James says, framework set up for success. Absolutely. Yeah. I think this is going to be a successful thing. I think it's going to be successful. Mark says, not to be negative, but give it 3 years, you got NFL to compete with. That is true. The NFL is something to compete with. Absolutely. Yeah. I think, Mark, yes. Absolutely. And I think that they probably, when it comes to like the broadcast times and whatnot, I think they're gonna keep that in mind. All right, so you all are probably like, oh, this sounds great. This is during the off season. This is a great league. The structure is great. The format is great. But what about the WNBA? Is the WNBA okay with this? Like, is this going to affect the WNBA? Like, what's happening with the WNBA? Well, Kathy Engelbert did release a statement about Unrivaled. She said, on behalf of the WNBA, we applaud WNBA stars Napheesa Kahleah and Breanna Stewart on launching Unrivaled. The momentum for women's basketball has never been greater, and we will continue to work with them to showcase the amazing players of the WNBA. So, this is supported by the WNBA, at least publicly. Publicly, the WNBA is saying, we love this. We are supporting this. This is great. Because this allows several things. One, if you all have been paying attention to the WNBA in the last several years, you've noticed that the WNBA actually has rules prioritizing the W. So that means there's penalties on players who come late from training camp. They play overseas. They come late to training camp, and there's penalties because of that. And now with Unrivaled, players are in the country. So it's going to actually be very helpful for the WNBA in terms of you don't have to worry about when April comes around for training camps. You don't have to worry about it. These players they're already here. They're not going overseas to play. You don't have to worry about the overseas schedule or anything like that. And I think that's why Unrivaled was scheduled in January, because it does allow you a little bit of a break after the WNBA season, and then you head right on into Unrivaled, and then you have a little bit of a break, and then you have the WNBA back. And so I think from a WNBA perspective, this is perfect because it allows players to stay in the United States. Also, it allows possible activations with the WNBA with Unrivaled. I'm pretty sure we're probably going to see some partnerships here and there. That means WNBA players who are playing in Unrivaled, they could probably fly up to New York and do some sort of activation with the WNBA, and then come on back down to Florida and play for Unrivaled. I think there's going to be a symbiotic type of deal happening between Unrivaled and the WNBA, and I think it's going to work out really well. And so that's why right now the WNBA is very gung-ho and supportive about this, because one, it'd look bad on them to say no. It'd look bad on them to sort of have any issues with it. One thing that is possible that both the WNBA and Unrivaled has to worry about is injuries, right? Because injuries happen, and with 3v3, we'll see if there's an increase in injuries, like what specifically is happening on that front. So that is something that is, put a pin in that injury conversation, because that could possibly come up into a thing. All right. Now, guys, I do want to kind of finish off with this. Guys, we will have pretty close to year-round professional women's basketball. All right. So from January to March, we will have Unrivaled 3v3 with a 1v1 tournament in the middle of it. You have a break for it doesn't take up the whole of March, but you have a little bit of a break. Then you have training camp starting late April. WNBA season runs from May to September. You have a break, and then you get back to it. But the thing to know, guys, for women's basketball fans, we got a lot that we watching. Okay, so when we hit that January through March period, that's also the same time when NCAA women's basketball is really picking up. And so I think a lot of fans, we're gonna have to figure out what we're gonna do, because if you're like me and literally try to watch every single women's college basketball game that's on TV, it's going to get kind of tough, because now you got to watch women's college basketball and Unrivaled at the same time. Luckily, in the summer, it's just the WNBA for women's basketball. But yeah, I did want to let you all know that about the schedule, because, we got a lot of basketball to watch, okay? A lot of basketball to watch, specifically in that January to March space when both Unrivaled and NCAA women's basketball is taking place. Now, guys, I don't necessarily think that this is going to be I don't think this is going to be a bad thing. Like, I think for like the super fans like me, who like literally watch everything, it's gonna be a little bit tough to watch both things at the same time in terms of Unrivaled and NCAA. But I think for most fans, I think it'll be just fine. I don't think it'll really hinder fans of Unrivaled much at all when it comes to NCAA being a factor. I think people probably will watch both, or just pick one. And I think Unrivaled won't hurt because they're at the same time as the NCAA. So yeah, guys, that's something to note. And we have reached the end of my presentation. And guys, let me know if you all learned something. Let me know if this was actually interesting. Because again, guys, this is sort of a newer thing that I'm trying to do, sort of deeper dives and sort of a black background and white text, and sort of like very like focused on a topic. So guys, let me know if y'all like this style. Please let me know if y'all like this style. Because this stuff takes forever, and I love it. I love to do it, but like, your feedback would be great. Also, I have 3 specific questions for you. 3 specific questions. Will you attend a game in Miami? Hopefully I will. I hope I will. I gotta figure out, once they actually release the location of the games and ticket price and all that stuff, I got to figure out if my finances are financing. But my hope is that I will at least be able to make it to one game in person. So guys, a question for you: will you attend a game, or do you plan on attending a game? Will you watch the games on TV? Again, TBD on the exact broadcast partner, so no clue on that front. But will you make a concerted effort to find it and watch it? And 3, what do you think about the players so far that have been announced for Unrivaled? And while you all are answering those in the chat, I do have some super chats to get to. Thank you so much, Brandon. Brandon gave a second super chat and said, "I hope so." Thinking about Caitlin Clark joining Unrivaled. James, thank you so much for the super chat. Says love and luck. Absolutely. Thank you so much. I really do appreciate this. Brandon, thank you so much for the super chat. Says off topic, but is anyone else's new favorite Alicia Gray after All-Star Friday night? Absolutely. Y'all, it's something about Alicia Gray's accent. I just love her accent. I just do. It's so country. It is so country. So country. I love it. I love it, y'all. Yeah, but yeah, I really do like Alicia Gray. I think she's fantastic. She's a baller. She's crazy, like low key and quiet. But she's a beast, man. She's a beast on the court. And her accent. It's a trifecta for me. It's a trifecta for me. But yeah, shout out to Alicia Gray. And thank you so much. Thank you so much for the super chats. That was so awesome. Guys, again, super chats really do help the channel a lot, and that's the only way I will actually recognize your non-related to the topic. That's the only reason I mentioned that one about Alicia Gray was because that was a super chat. Because otherwise we are sticking to the topic. Let's see what you all have to say in the comments. Oh, great. This was educational information. Okay, great. I am happy that this was informative. I'm very happy about that. Rosalinda says we'll definitely be watching on TV. CAC says I would love to visit Miami and go see a game. I also would love to go to Las Vegas and see the Aces. Yeah, that'd be a good game. That'd be good to go to as well. Absolutely. Darius says, yes, I can't wait to go to a game. Only a couple hours away. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Glamour's watching. All right. Uncle J.E. said we'll watch on TV. Okay. Shay says, I will watch, can attend, love the players. Yeah, great crop of players. Gabe says, if it's on a convenient televised network, I'll watch it. That's the thing. I'm not sure if this is going to be on ESPN, but like, where is this going to be? Is this going to be on a national, like, cable network? Is this going to be on like a streaming service? Like, I'm very much interested to find out those details. Britt says Caitlin Clark, Sabrina, and Asia would be my dream 3x3 team. Now that'd be a pretty dominant team. But I slightly worry about defense, though. That's my only thing. Harina said, yeah, I'm going. I'm in whack Tampa. What's wrong with Tampa? Oh, man. Yeah, I mean, Robin, I get it. Finances be financing. I get it. I absolutely get it. Oh, we got some Alicia Gray love in the chat. Yes. Alicia Gray is fan-freaking-tastic. All right. Her account says, like the big three, I will watch the first game. Out of curiosity, 3x3 is very different than 5-on-5. Yeah. It's pretty different. It is pretty different. Yes. And we'll ultimately see how this works out. We'll ultimately see. Drew is asking, how would you feel about Ariel Atkins and Dejanay Carrington in it? I actually think they both would be really good in it. Yeah, I could absolutely see both of them in this thing. Let's see. Let's see if y'all have any other comments, because guys, we are about to end this stream in about 5 minutes, if not sooner. Lindy says Prime might pick it up. It's possible. Carmela says random, but I would love for her to play for the Sky. Wait. Oh, this has nothing to do with Unrivaled. But yes, But yes, that would be great. That would be great, Carmela. But let's ignore this. King Lindo says Ion would be great. Yeah, Ion would be great. A lot of people have Ion. You can even get Ion for free in some places. Ella, thank you so much for the super chat. I really do appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Will says, can we watch on League Fast? Well, the WNBA partnered with Australia's I think it's called the WNBL. The WNBA partnered with them to have games on League Pass. So like, you know, I know it was a joke, but who knows? It's possible. Eddie, they have not released anything about a 4-point shot for this league. So I'm assuming no, this league will not have a 4-point shot. Danny says, what do you think ticket prices will go for something like this? I think it's going to draw a lot of fans. Therefore, high ticket sales and high prices. Just saying, I think this is going to be about $20. I think it's going to be $20 a seat, and I'm wondering if they even have tiers. Like I think this could just be like a $20 sit wherever type of deal. Yeah, so that's what I'm anticipating right now. But we'll see. We'll ultimately see what the price is. But I think for the first year, I think it should be around $20. Like I really do. Either for all the seats or at least most of the seats, because you want to make sure it's like relatively affordable for folks, so that way they can get hooked. And then, you know, as time goes on, like everything, you sort of raise the price as it goes on. All right, guys, that is the stream. This was sort of my deep dive into Unrivaled Basketball League. I hope you all enjoyed this the stream and sort of this walkthrough. I do these to just sort of deep dive into one topic and not sort of get distracted and sidetracked about a whole bunch of other stuff. So again, hopefully this is helpful for you all. Unrivaled is here. It's coming in January 2005. And I, for one, am very, very much excited about it. I hope you are as well. But hopefully you all understand more about the league. Again, if you all have more questions about it, maybe leave it in the comments and I'll try to, if I know the answer to it, I'll try to get to it after this video is done and published. But again, guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit that like button on y'all way out. That really does help the channel. Also, if you all could, please share this video. So deep dives like this don't get even close to the amount of views that like a random video about, Caitlyn or somebody else would get. And so if you all could share this video to more people so more people can find it and watch it, that would be pretty awesome. Because one of the things is, I think it's important for us to do videos like this that talk about stuff that's not necessarily popular. I mean, though I think Unrivaled is, but I don't think the masses really know what this is. And so you all liking this, you all sharing this is absolutely huge. Now, guys, I will be back with you all very, very soon, possibly tomorrow. We'll do another deep dive into something else. Guys, if you all have a suggestion for what the next deep dive should be, please put it in the comments. Put it in the comments after this video has been published. Not in the live chat, but in the comments. And do write daily download, whatever your topic is. All right. Because again, guys, this is a new series I'm calling Daily Download, where we literally just download about one specific topic. So again, hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. We are almost at 20,000 subscribers. Can you believe that? Almost 20,000. Like, it's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy, but I appreciate y'all so much for rocking with me. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Unrivaled, hit me up. I would love to work with you guys. So if anybody actually knows Napheesa Kahleah or Brianna Stewart, let them know that, hey, Quita would love to work with you. But anyway, guys, Element Go says you don't want to hear my suggestions. Give your suggestions, Element. Give your suggestions. Give your suggestions. Anyway, guys, I appreciate y'all. Have a great rest of your evening. Have a good night's sleep. Guys, be nice to someone. Tell somebody that they matter, because they absolutely do. Guys, appreciate y'all. Have a great night. Until next time, guys. Bye-bye.